Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about what does success look like for the average person. And the reason why we're talking about this is this article came across my feed not too long ago, and it talked about the average person now versus the average person if they make it. And we talk a lot about what does success mean for you. It's different for everybody, and especially because we talked about, from the managerial perspective and from the executive level on down, HR tends to offer compensation packages that are cookie cutter, but success is different for every single person. So that's something that either they're too lazy to understand at most companies, or they don't want to understand, or it's just a lot easier to offer a cookie cutter package, which it is, and that's fair, and people take them. But now in the day of the internet, people are learning more and more things, becoming more self-aware, understanding what they actually want out of life. And I thought this little graphic was interesting. Here, I'm going to zoom in on it because it shows you what people are thinking about, what does success mean to certain people. And I just thought this was interesting, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. So as you can see in the blue here, you got the average person now, and then the average person if they make it. And what's funny about it is basically you can predict what the person would say if they made it. So it's probably gonna be, better. So here we go. The average person now is single, and I don't think that's going anywhere. I think we're going to see more and more single people in America, that is. And then so they said if they make it, it's married, which I also think is interesting because I feel like more and more people are, wanting to be single, or it's becoming more and more acceptable to be single. So it's interesting that if they make it, they consider making it to be married. So the average person now has 0 kids. Once again, I don't really know how they came up with these numbers because I'm just not really sure. But 2 kids, I think, good number, good manageable number. Then friends, they obviously want more friends than they have now. So I don't know if there's like an underlying thing of depression here where people feel like they just want more and more and more, or they feel like their life is not good enough. That needs to be discussed. Mental health, self-awareness, just overall mental awareness. So people want more friends. Education, average person now, bachelor's degree. I think when they mean average, that just means like that doesn't necessarily mean average, because I don't think the average person, if you added up all the people in the United States over the age of 18, I don't think the average person has a bachelor's degree. I think still not a lot of people have bachelor's and higher learning degrees, but it's getting better, obviously. But I don't think, I guess what's average? Yeah, I don't think the average person has a bachelor's degree, if you were to take the average of that number. So average income, and this is a big difference, $57,000, the average income in America. But they say if they made it, $147,000. That's crazy. That's a big difference. That's almost 3 times the amount. So, wow, I mean, you could do a lot with 2 times that amount. But obviously you're going to have a different quality of life at that level. So if they made it, hours worked. So obviously most people would want to work less the more successful they got. So average person now works about 34 hours a week, which I find interesting. I thought it would be more than that. I thought it'd be over 40. The average person works a week. So once again, don't really know how they got these numbers, but just looking at the trends here is the goal. So the average person, if they made it, would want to work less. Then commute time, average person would want to commute less. I don't know many people that actually like commuting, unless maybe you're a truck driver or something. I'm not sure the average person likes commuting, so that's an obvious one. Workplace, the average person now is not at home. The average person goes into the office, that's for sure. But the average person, if they made it, would want to go home, would want to have a home office. At least to have the flexibility. We talk about this a lot on this channel. about having the flexibility to work from home, not necessarily working from home full time, but at least a couple of days, or if something comes up, you got a leak and you got to call a plumber or something, you are able to work from home without taking a day off or some time off. So just to have that flexibility there is definitely beneficial. So time off, the average person only gets 2.8 weeks. But if they made it 5 weeks, that's crazy. A lot of companies, after you've been there a long time, they reward you with a lot more PTO. I've seen companies, after you've been there 3 years, they add a whole nother week. And I already have a hard time using the PTO I'm already given. So adding a whole nother week to that, and I know people that do have a lot of PTO, they have a hard time using it all too, because the work you're not doing has to be spread around to another team member, or you have to do it when you get back. So sometimes it can be hard to take a lot of time off, unfortunately. Travel, average person now travels 3 times a year, and then if they made it 3 times a year, I'm not so sure I agree with that one. I'm not so sure the average person travels that much, and I'm not sure the average person would want to travel, would not want to travel more than that. So I'm basically saying this green line right here should be way higher, I think, if they made it. And I don't think the average person does travel that much a year. And we're talking personal travel, not business travel, I'm assuming here. So I don't think so. Comment down below if you guys agree or disagree with any of these, by the way, also. So that house value, the average person now, $248,000. I don't think so. I don't know where they got some of these numbers. I just thought this trend was interesting. But maybe so if you add in California and New York. Maybe so. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers, but that's a lot. That's a lot of house for the average person. I mean, think about it. You can get a townhouse, $100,000, less than $100,000 in a lot of places. But that same townhouse in like high cost of living places, LA or something, would cost like 3 times as much. So maybe so. But obviously the average person, if they made it, would want a much bigger house, almost twice as much. So they would want, twice as much house essentially. And then same thing with the car. The average person now has a $15,000 car, but they would want, a car that's over twice as much if they made it, if they considered making it. So that's interesting. I've read a lot of things on happiness. I'm sure you guys know that. So do you think that if you had all these things, right, would you be a lot happier? Would your numbers recalibrate, do you think? So once you were able to have 2 kids, do you think you'd want 4 kids if you're able to afford it? Or once you had 4 friends, would you want 6 friends if you could afford it, etc.? Or, once you had a 10-minute commute, would you want a 5-minute commute or no commute? Or once you were able to travel 3 times a year, would you want to travel 8 times a year? So do you guys think it recalibrates or stays the same? Comment that down below in the comments as well. So what do you guys think? What is making it mean to you? What does that mean to your life? I'm curious about that and what making it means to you. So that's it for today's video, guys. Just wanted to talk about that and discuss this graphic with you guys. Appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button. Email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com if you'd like your resume reviewed for clinical research. If you'd like to advertise with us on the channel or any other platform, email us there. Comment down below, guys. We respond to all comments as well. So take care.